Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris White with the American Battlefield Trust. We are live above the Remembrance Day Parade here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm joined by Gary Edelman,
Hello.
Tim Smith.
Hi.
We've got Terry Rensel from the Central Virginia Battlefield Trust. He's waving, and the camera's pointed away from him. And we have Chris McCaskey, who's behind the camera.
Hello, hello, hello.
But he is loud enough for everyone to hear. We're so glad that you can join us here on Facebook and on YouTube. We're at the Remembrance Day Parade, the 63rd annual Remembrance Day Parade here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So, Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the parade? We're looking down along what would have been open fields in 1863 out towards where the assaults on East Cemetery Hill would have taken place. You might see on your left-hand side the old Weinbrenner House, but today it's full of Confederate and Union reenactors.
Well, the parade basically was generated following the death of Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson was the last surviving veteran of the American Civil War. He died in 1956 at age 109. And following his death, the sons of the Union veterans decided to hold a yearly parade to honor the Northern veterans of the Civil War. The parade starts in the town of Gettysburg, and the parade goes out to Cemetery Ridge and ends at the Albert Wilson Memorial that was established there in, it's kind of interesting, Albert died in August of 1956, and the monument was dedicated in September of 1956. Starting about a year later, the first parade to his monument was undertaken. And then at the monument, there will be speeches given and wreaths laid to honor Albert Wilson and the other veterans of the Civil War.
And let me just say that a few people are already noticing, wow, look at our view. Well, that's because we are above the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg. And we really thank the Farnsworth House for providing us this access. Tim, what is the Farnsworth House?
It's a restaurant, a bed and breakfast, and it's a little bookstore.
Yeah, and as we're up here above, we're actually out on the roof. So if you're wondering why we're not going to move around too much, we are going to be static throughout this one because we don't want to make the Gettysburg Times tomorrow morning with historian falls off of roof. So we're high above here. The Wilson Monument that Tim was talking about, if you go up towards Ziegler's Grove, up by the Abraham Bryan Farm, you can see an older gentleman sitting down on a monument. He did not fight here at the Battle of Gettysburg, but that monument is here because this is probably the most famous of any American battlefields, and most assuredly the American Civil War. Today we have tons of reenactors out in front of us, and they're lining up before us. We'll get the parade started here just in a few minutes. But before we do so, let's talk a little bit for a minute about Gettysburg history. Now, on July 1st through 3rd, 1863, what's happening? Are we in a no man's land down here in 1863, Tim?
Yeah, you might know that during the first day of the battle, the Southern Army captured the town of Gettysburg in a heavy fighting. The Northern Army retreated down the very street in front of us back to Cemetery Hill, where the second and third day of the battle were fought. The Southern Army occupied the edge of the town. Here where we're located, the Weinbrenner House to the left front of the view was occupied by Southern sharpshooters from the evening of the first day until the morning of July 4th, and there was a violent sharpshooter action here at the edge of the town. The Weinbrenner House across the street, as well as the Farnsworth House, still show the signs of battle with bullet holes in the brick walls of the buildings. And of course, it was a sharpshooter somewhere near the edge of the town in front of us that fired a shot up the hill on the morning of the third day and killed young, innocent Jenny Wade, the only civilian to be killed in the battle.
And let me just say, I already see a lot of people chiming in. We got a lot of people. We have our biggest one of the day. We're at more than 360 people watching right now. Share this with your friends. The parade's going to start in just a couple of minutes. And I'll tell you what, one of the ways to keep this parade and American history and battlefield preservation going is to help yourself perpetuate this to your friends, to your kids, and to everybody else. And social media is one of the ways we can do this. So make sure you do this. You're with the American Battlefield Trust live from the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg, covering the Remembrance Day Parade.
Yeah, and if you're out here, I can see some of our friends out here. Tom Nank is watching from the parade. I just saw Tom Nank. He helps run our Gettysburg police headquarters here in Gettysburg, which is up on Seminary Ridge. The Trust saved that a few years back, renovated it, brought it back to its 1863 appearance. And it looks like we're just about ready to get started. Anytime that you see officers drawing their swords, it means that they're actually going to do something, which they rarely do anything. That's why you have the NCOs who actually run the Army. But stepping off today will be our Sons of Veterans Reserves and the Sons of Union Veterans. These are our descendants of the Union veterans who fought throughout the Civil War, not necessarily just here in Gettysburg, but maybe across the eastern, western, and trans-Mississippi theaters. Their flags are going to be masked, mostly, that you'll see coming here from the different chapters and organizations across the United States. The Sons of Union Veterans and the Grand Army of the Republic actually had posts down in South America, over in Europe, and here in North America.
It's great, and I want to give a shout out to all the people on the parade route watching, too. This goes all the way to the cemetery, a solid mile from here. And I think you see the Sons of Veterans Reserve color guard coming up next, Chris.
Yeah, you can see their colors are on mass. You might see some streamers flying from their flags. Some of them will be campaign banners. There'll be campaign ribbons for honors throughout 1861 to 65. Some of them will be many of their numerous Remembrance Day parade appearances. Every year you'll get one of the streamers placed on top of your flag if you like to. And you'll also see some of the flags donned with the battle honors themselves. I see one right in front of us, the Cedar Mountain, Mine Run, Cold Harbor. So that was a unit that I can't see who they were, but probably it's going to be 88th Pennsylvania. So they played up here with the 1st Corps with Henry Baxter, and see a lot of action on our slaughter pen farm that we saved about a decade ago.
We being the American Battlefield Trust, and I'm not sure if you guys caught, but I think I saw U.S. Grant and a Vivandière in the parade.
USS Grant marching by. One of my favorite Gettysburg memories is a T-shirt that showed Lee and Grant on it for the anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. Of course, Grant comes here in 1867, and now we've got the president coming by.
Yeah, there's Abraham Lincoln right below us. There's only one Lincoln.
We have
in
the
parade.
carriage waving to us right now, to our Facebook and YouTube companies. Thanks so much. We're honored.
Yeah, there's only one Abraham Lincoln in the parade. They don't want to have a whole gaggle of Lincolns up here. So talk about being the one special Lincoln to be here at Gettysburg on Remembrance Day.
You see more color guards coming up here, and some of the staff of the parade. You can see they've prepared. They are in uniform. Chris, is it easy to do this marching and get ready?
You know what? It's actually harder to march on an asphalt street than you would think if you're actually wearing brogans from the time. They're soft leather shoes. They're very slippery, especially if you're walking in grass and then you go onto this asphalt. If you want to see where most of reenactor injuries take place, it'll be just like in the Tour de France. When it rains and you go across road paint, that's when you will see reenactors go down in mass, just like you would see in the Tour de France.
Well, let's see what we have here with the civilians and the ladies. What sort of part do they play in reenacting and living history, Chris?
Well, depending on what they do with the unit. We saw Vivandière go past earlier. You may have known a few very famous Vivandières that served with 114th Pennsylvania. That would be Mary Tepe, who was going to fight at the slaughter pen. She's going to earn the Kearney Cross in her time. The only woman to do so. You'll have Annie Etheridge, who will fight from Michigan, and then you'll have ladies who fight with the Louisiana Tigers. They're going to wear pants with a skirt over top of it. Then you'll have your camp followers. That is not meant to be a slang term from the time, but that is going to be ladies who will help come do laundry, help to cook, and will be in camp to give you what the idea will look like at that point. I see my second Ambrose Burnside of the day. Now I've seen 3 Ambrose Burnside reenactors in my life, so man, they must be Browns fans. He's talking about perennial losers.
Oh no, we've got the Confederation of Union Generals here. A good half the parade is officers, and you can see we have some generals. Let's see if any of our attention, if their attention comes up to this, which is pretty cool. I want to say we have listeners and watchers from Scotland, from all over the place. Plus a lot of friends, Tom Meg, Larry Korchak, Ruby East, and all sorts of other friends in battlefield preservation.
I think it's ironic.
Right, but it's all running camaraderie here. The band we're looking at here is Sons of the Veterans marching as artillery. That's what we have coming around the bend. I think on a long set right here.
So you'll see in the red with the red piping, you will see the artillery. Artillery, it's very costly to actually haul a cannon across the U.S. to bring it out here. Plus, pushing those things around, they're very heavy. well balanced. But it's hard to get a whole 6-horse team out here to pull one limber chest and one gun. So they're marching en masse without their guns, some of them with swords drawn. And I see a few Vivandiers with it.
And also note all the red piping, the crossed cannons on their hats. There's a lot of ways to identify them as artillerymen. Now, Chris, who's rounding the bend here?
So coming around the bend are the United States colored troops.
Getting a nice applause, too.
And the U.S. colored troops did not fight here at Gettysburg. Their first major famous action will take place a few weeks after Gettysburg on Morris Island with the 54th Massachusetts Infantry, some of the first African-American soldiers to see action. We've seen the USC teams out here, and their flags were actually works of art when they were off the war, painted by very famous African-American artist David Bustier Bowser from Philadelphia.
Good, actually, we're looking at the second top right.
Yeah, the Mitchell Guard is the whole unit that I run with. As a reenactor, I see that they're representing today the units from Pennsylvania. This is the 69th Pennsylvania, who fought right at the angle here at Gettysburg. You'll notice as they come up, they're in a wheel. They're going to be making a left wheel. This is a closed, this is a column of companies as they're marching down through here. Bayonets are fixed. Some guys have their white gloves on. But I noticed just in the rear rank, the gentleman who's representing what is known as a Pioneer Corps, and he has a large 2-man axe for felling trees. The Pioneer Corps don't get nearly enough credit for helping to be essentially combat engineers during the Civil War. They have their own manual and their own insignia, which are crossed hatchets.
I just can't stress enough how cool it is to be here, and I hope you're enjoying this. The energy is just great in Gettysburg today. You're with the American Battlefield Trust coming live from the Farnsworth House, where you can get great food, great drink, and even stay the night if you're lucky.
Yeah, and I can see some of the members of the Guard coming down here. We're coming in column with the first company. This is a column of 4s. You might see the shoulder epaulets. The front guide on bearer is actually the former colonel of the Mifflin Guard, that's Scott Washburn. He's actually a college professor.
It's like Chris has just entered puberty.
Yeah, he's out at the University of Pennsylvania. So reenactors put a lot of time into this. We have academics around here. We have guys who fix cars or mechanics. We have everybody out here for the love of history.
Let me just say, man, we had Shane Seeley watching. Shane runs Wide Awake Films. If you like our animated maps and import videos, let's thank Wide Awake Films for the great job. Jackie Hurst Bailey, Dominic Marie Miller. Really great to have you and the other hundreds of people joining us. Let's see if we can get it up to 600 people watching live on Facebook alone. I can't tell how many are watching on YouTube, but thank you so much for joining the American Battlefield Trust at this 63rd Remembrance Day parade.
Yeah, the soldiers down in front of us have just done an arms change. They have gone to support arms, and now they're going down to shoulder arms. Anytime you halt, you go back to order arms on the march, because that is going to be your standard way of everyone being on the same page. When they start marching again, they might go to right shoulder shift, they might go to support arms again, and that's going to help save the enlisted men's arms to do these arms changes. Sergeants were not allowed to change arms. That means the guns is an arm, and they're not allowed to do that, but the corporals and the privates are allowed to do that. So as you're marching along, you see them shifting around, and that's really going to save these guys arms.
I've seen someone on here who has an ancestor in the 11th Mississippi, and someone in colorful language noting that there might be too many Yankees
crowd is just absolutely enraptured by the show that's going on in front of us.
It is great. You can see some of the crowd left and right, but this crowd goes all the way for more than a mile to the National Cemetery on both sides of the road. Make it a point to come to, the Remembrance Day Parade if you can, and if not, at least watch it here and share this with your friends. This is a really cool experience, and I think, look at this. Look at the precision of the maneuver.
Yeah, that's a great wheel. That makes everybody happy.
Do I see Mark Herman there? I can't quite tell. I think I do see Mark Herman right there.
Yeah.
There he is, and we got him to look on. Liberty Rifles and other units as well.
Yeah, as you're noticing here, as they make their wheel, they're going to have a full wheel that they're all lined up on Baltimore Street, then some in a half wheel. So as they march along, this is going to help them keep their alignment. If they would go into a line of battle, they can wheel to the left, they can wheel to the right. Wherever the enemy might show up on either flank, they can wheel directly into line. Here at Gettysburg on July 2nd, this would have been the Confederates' idea at first when Lafayette McLaws marches down to the Peach Orchard. He'd march in like this, and then wheel to the north, wheel to his left, and then attack up the Emmitsburg Road. As we know, it didn't exactly work out that way.
I think it's a great illustration of how troops are moving in action. A lot of times when you talk about these things, it's sort of abstract. You can't get a beat for it. Look at the way these guys are marching shoulder to shoulder in formation. You've got one line in front, line right behind them, then trying to match with the officers closing ranks.
Yeah, coming along here as I go through puberty for a second time will be the 14th Brooklyn. They just went from a line of march by the left flank, and that means that they were in a column of fours, and then the officer gave the order by the left flank. That snapped him into a battle line, and they're marching along. The 14th Brooklyn, also known as the 84th New York, fought up here at Gettysburg at the railroad cut. Trailing a little bit farther behind will be a Zouave regiment. Those Zouaves that are coming down here will have the large baggy pants, just like MC Hammer had back in the early 90s. A big turban or a fez, kind of like the Shriners are going to wear whenever they drive around in their little cars in the parades. Unfortunately, we don't have any Shriners, it looks like, in the little cars today. That'll be a lot of fun.
All right, good. We just crested 500 active viewers on Facebook. Let's try to get it up to 6. As we go, we see all sorts of proud members of some of these organizations. Welcome to Cooley Bauman, and I saw Shane is judging some of these units. Greg?
There's Steve Ford, our friend in position down there. One of the things that I think is fascinating about this is he's
Park Rangers number one. Never at their job. Jeez. He's everywhere. You know Steve Vaughn, he is traveling the world.
He's like, where's it all? So people talk about Zouave regiments, and we've seen several different designs of Zouave uniforms. So I think that's one of the really cool things about this parade. It's just the variety rather than the northern uniform.
Yeah, and the Confederates will be the same way. They're not just butternut and gray. They will have Zouave units of their own. They will have some very flamboyant units at the beginning of the war, some very flamboyant outfits. Both sides will. And then as it becomes more and more generalized, where you're going to have the same look, that federal blue and light blue from the Union police, makes it easier to mass produce. It also makes you less conspicuous on a battlefield. These guys will go off to war wearing all kinds of brass and things on their hats and their uniforms, and that makes a perfect target in 61 and early 62. Once they realize that, most of it is dropped by the wayside, and that's one of the reasons it's so hard to find.
We have some very young musicians coming up. That's just great. I saw a few people asking, do they do this every year? Yes, absolutely. And I see, of course, people judging some of the units for their dress or for anything else.
Yeah, and
How do you want to handle
letting the drums go by.
It's pretty cool and all. I hope some of you are trying to use this to see, now I can see it in color. And maybe you get some glimpse into the past by seeing masses of troops walking by in column, in line, and trying to work their way through these admittedly difficult maneuvers.
So I see somebody who thinks the calendar is mixed up because the battle was in July and you're doing this in November. Well, there's a very famous speech you may have heard of called the Gettysburg Address, and that is why we have it over Remembrance Day weekend, close to November 19th, 1863 is whenever Lincoln gives his Gettysburg Address, and he is going to have, we're going to have here in Gettysburg as close to that address day as possible. So we're going to be heading, following a lot of the the procession route that they would have done in 1863. This is a shortened route that you're seeing as they come out of the Gettysburg Middle School. But that is the reason why it is today. I see some of the members of the 9th Pennsylvania Reserves. These are guys I've known for a long time out of Pittsburgh.
All right, not everyone loves Pittsburgh, but let's give them some props. People are asking a little bit, what are the units coming through? There's a mishmash in the parade and reenactments. Some people go between units. What you're seeing are various units who aren't the U.S. Volunteers or the Mifflin Guard or Vincent's Brigade and a few of the other ones that were up front. So what we're getting to, as you can see, is it looks like maybe the end of some of the Union Division is coming up right here. Again, you're with the American Battlefield Trust on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks to Larry back in the office helping to moderate some of the YouTube comments.
Yeah, we have the end of the Union are coming up. The people are asking where are the Confederates. The Confederates are on their way. They should be coming around in the corner here very shortly.
One of the most interesting things I found in all the study is, there wasn't standardized time during the Civil War. So you look up in the sun and sort of set your watch. Well, some academic did a study of, Union and Confederate timepieces and concluded that Southern timepieces tended to run 20 minutes slower than Union timepieces at mid-war. Draw from that what you like. So pretty cool stuff. But that's not why the Confederates are coming. Still to come. This is the order of march. This parade is United Sons of Union Veterans. So the Sons of, I forget the name of the organization. I'm sorry. But they always go first up to the front. Sons of Veterans Reserve coming forward.
And you might see down here below two guidons. Guidons are smaller battle flags. That's the 105th Regiment of Pennsylvania Infantry. That's also known as the Wildcat Regiment. They'll fight out here on the Emmitsburg Road. But those guidons serve a good purpose. That is how a colonel, a major, a lieutenant colonel would actually mark the ends of their battle line. They can actually see to the right or the left. Guidons will fall by the wayside as the war goes on and casualties start to mount. But those would play an important role throughout many Civil War battlefields.
I would say an extra prop for anybody who waves and looks at the camera like right now. Friends of ours, I think I see Kevin and I on the show, excuse me. Licensed battlefield guide in Gettysburg. Looks like what we're seeing here looks like the end of the second division is coming up, if I had to guess.
Let's listen in for a minute. Coming up here, we'll see members of the Grand Army of the Republic. These gentlemen are going to have a great look at them. That's what the veterans look like in the following years of the American Civil War when they come back out to these battlefields.
I think it's so cool. That's what this parade is. We've got young, we've got old, we've got Union, I see the Confederates are coming up now. We've got civilians, we have military, and I think that's really great that everyone can march together. Even for a slightly, sometimes controversial subject, people can come together for an event like this. Let me welcome Louis Bowman and Tom Moore, our good friend Emma McSherry. She's probably watching from Italy or something like that. I'm glad you're watching.
Ted, I'm going to give my blanket warning. If you keep making inappropriate comments, you will be blocked. So I know most of you think like this, so please do not post corruptly. So remember, the soldiers fought on both sides here today at Gettysburg.
And yeah, the people here can manage to do it. We think you can too. I just saw General Lee, that's Frank Orlando, just walk by. Here we're seeing the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It looks like coming through first.
Yeah, we'll see them come through. Just like their Union counterparts, they have their flags on mast. We have a mishmash of Confederate flags coming down this this way. I see the first Army of Northern Virginia battle flag. I see the first national battle flag in the Confederacy, the Bonnie Blue flag. So there are all kinds of flags on both sides that you'll see here at Gettysburg today. There are units like the 39th New York on the Union side who carried 3 different battle flags, including a Hungarian battle flag at one point. So you never know what you're going to see marching or coming up here to Remembrance Day.
I just said Stonewall Jackson coming through. He's got both arms.
So it's an early war Jackson.
Indeed. Well, it was near the end of the war for him, I guess, when he lost his arm, but you guys would know this. Just look at all of the details when you just start focusing in on any one soldier and see a lot of them are carrying, north and south, they're carrying artifacts from their ancestors to remember them in this particular parade.
Yeah, and we've had some friends from the 10th Virginia Infantry have come out and actually brought a blanket that was used here at Gettysburg by his ancestor, and his ancestor was wearing it when he was shot and killed in action at Gettysburg, sent back to the family later, brought it back here for a special Generations event earlier this year. So if you don't know what our Generations events are, they're to bring young people out to these battlefields, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, bring the kids out and learn more about their history. And we partner with the 10th Virginia for that one. Gary, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I am, and I'm reluctant to, but if you don't like our talking so much, watch somewhere else. This is free. This is up to you, so come and enjoy the parade like the people in the parade are doing, north and south.
Yeah, he also needs to stay away from General Pickett's buffet, I think.
Oh, man,
poor
if you're trying to
Jimmy.
stay away from that here.
You know, interestingly, I see a lot of people that have horsed by that were in the movie Gettysburg in 1992 when it was filmed. And you know, that movie, which is one of our favorite Civil War movies, a lot of the movies based on the large amount of extras that they were able to use, Civil War reenactors. And perhaps at that time they could not have done a movie of that scope and size unless they had this community of people reenacting the Civil War.
That's really important when you look at the movie Glory, the Ken Burns series, the Gettysburg movie, and the birth of the modern battlefield preservation movement. There was a real Civil War renaissance sort of in the late 80s and early 90s, and that's when a lot of these people got involved, north, south, male and female.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some more Confederates come down here. You'll notice some of the Confederate uniforms almost look blue. Their gray is almost blue. So at times on battlefields, new units would be actually a little bit confused, thinking that they might be a friend or a foe. Yeah, I see one of the Louisiana Tigers here. He has the striped pants, moving along with a straw hat. Those Tigers would see a lot of action during Jackson's Valley campaign. And then right here on East Cemetery Hill, there's a couple more who look like they are right off of Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Some of those Louisiana Tigers were actually British and Irish sailors who were stuck because of the blockade in New Orleans. They decided, let's join the rebel army.
If you together in the same outfits or in the same parade. And that's what this is really all about.
Again, see some of those uniforms that are so dark gray, they almost look blue. You can imagine how confusing that would have been. The smoke of battle clouded the battlefield.
Look at how easy they did those wheels, too. This is not easy. If you ever have time, grab 20 or 30 of your friends, if you have that many, try to get into a line and do a wheel. It is not easy.
It's hours and hours of practice. Even the reenactors do exactly what some of these veterans would have done, and that would have been to go out there and drill hour on hour on hour.
Someone was asking about Jeb Stewart. I think we might have a couple coming up here.
Yeah, take your pick. You have young Jeb
Is a
Stewart.
little bit late at the end of the parade.
Yeah. The worst job are the kids coming up at the end of the parade.
Yeah.
Having to follow the horses.
But thanks to the Boy Scouts who do this, you know, the borough of Gettysburg administers this. It is not free to hold this parade. The organizing organization actually assembled more than $3,000 for the permit, and one of those permit restrictions is that you can't just leave crap in the streets, quite literally. So we really appreciate this and what they're doing here today, and we see they have that unenviable job. But let's give them a round of applause right here.
Yeah, and now the reenactors are going to head down. Steinwehr Avenue was not named that at the time of the battle. It's named after Union 11th Corps Division Commander. But they're going to head down onto the battlefield. Many of them will break off, and they will have ceremonies, wreath-laying ceremonies at monuments in spots special to them personally, maybe where an ancestor fought, or to the unit that they represent.
Yeah, let me just say, I see Steph McSherry. That used to be her name, at least. That's how I knew her, is now watching and whatnot. And you've just been watching the Remembrance Day Parade 2019, the 63rd annual Remembrance Day Parade, Union, Confederate, young, old, male, female, civilian, military, all together here. I'm Gary Edelman.
I'm Chris White.
We've been joined by Tim Smith, Chris Mikowski, here commenting today. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we're the American Battlefield Trust. We preserve battlefields. We talk about American history and try to tell people why it matters today. Go to battlefields.org to learn more and check out our unparalleled content. You see how humble we are, our animated maps, our short videos. Go to our YouTube channel if you're not watching on YouTube and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't subscribed, please do, and that'll really help to perpetuate American history, strengthen our democracy, and also to help preserve battlefield land. Chris, any final words?
No, we appreciate you joining in today, and we hope that we brought a little bit of Civil War history to your home.
Great, and share this with your friends even after it's over.